What's up, everybody? Well, I got another Steam Deck gameplay video for you guys today, and today we're going to have a look at Hellblade Senua Sacrifice. I haven't played it yet on here, but I've played a little bit, so let's just hit that, let it start on up, and then as soon as it's done, we'll have a look at some settings. Well, alright, as usual, we're going to start on the highest settings, so we're going to start on very high, full screen. So let's just real quickly scroll through all these settings. Oh, let's turn that off. Hold up. Off. And alright, now let's go see how it does in the game. Well, alright, we are in the very beginning of the game and surprisingly even maxed out with some ray tracing turned on. This might just be pre-rendered, but we're getting 30-ish FPS. So that's pretty damn impressive. And I'm not gonna lie, the speakers on this thing are really fucking good for what it is.
There'll be no more stories after this one.
Alright. So, am I supposed to move? Nope, she's doing it.
Oh, how rude of me. I never told you of the others. You hear them too, right? They've been around ever since the tragedy. That's not quite true.
Well, I'm really impressed. You could probably lock this at 30 and just have a blast, completely maxed out. Although, I shouldn't toot my own horn yet. We're just in like some water with like nothing going around.
Just like it changed her.
Guess I don't need to press forward. I'm just so used to pressing forward in situations like these. See, it's so interesting, the whispers. You can tell exactly where they are. Left and right channels are perfect.
You see it too.
That's a hanging dead body.
It is real after all. She's finally arrived in the land
Well,
of mist and
I guess I'm gonna go. You just, I guess, hang around.
Northmen call hells.
It's not safe. No. No, I will not turn back. I have a video to make, guys. But alright, I'm gonna let this get me to somewhere where I actually can move, and then we'll tone the settings down and see how it does. Here are the settings for high, real fast. Don't know why that one's constantly just on. I wonder if the mouses just hang over it. This does have FSR too, so we'll do a little bit of that at the end. I know the Steam Deck can do that itself as well, but sometimes it's fun to just let the game handle it, you know? Well, alright guys, now we're on high with no ray tracing. Still getting about 30-ish FPS, 30 to 40.
Focus.
What are you?
Look. Use your eyes. She's looking closer. She needs to look closer.
Well, how do I do that? I'm trying to focus. How do you focus on things? And you can use that too to move around. Cool. I don't know what the hell that's all about. There we go.
Do not forget my story, Senua. Because your darkness comes from do not forget my story, Senua.
I was gonna say, I was hoping I didn't have to hold the button down the whole time, but I guess I have to hold down the button the whole time.
They say the burning of a corpse will take you straight to Hell's Gate.
Oh, will it now?
Gods and the living will follow this path. You must leave the Isles of Orkney across the eastern sea and find a road that leads north and down through deep, dark valleys. After 9 nights of riding, you will follow a great river and will find a bridge covered in gold. The path to Helheim goes from there, across the River of Knives that flows from the dark world of Niflheim.
Well, alright. That guy will probably talk for freaking hours. Let's get a little actual walking around gameplay for crying out loud. This game looks really good though. But alright, let us move on to the next graphics setting. Now for medium settings. And alright, back into the game. Well, alright, we're back in the game. Now we're on medium. Still looks pretty damn good. Kind of hard to notice small imperfections on a little screen like this, but yep, you could probably have some fun in this game with the 40 FPS mode. I don't think you can get 40 FPS lock with the right combination of settings. I'm just going through the presets real quick after all. Hey, there's some fire. Fire's good, right?
But she's not stopping.
Man, the sound effects in this game are wild. Man, the speakers on this thing are really good for what it is. I very much enjoy gaming on the Steam Deck, even if it can't hit 60 in all games maxed out. It's a fun little device. It's not the device for everybody, though. Oh, it's looking more sunny here. What's this? Whoa, that's a pretty gnarly looking structure.
What was it he said? The river of knives across which lies the halls of hell. The place they call Helheim.
Alright though, why don't we go ahead and move on to the next graphics setting. Here are the settings for low real fast before we get into the gameplay. And then after this, we'll max the game out with some ray tracing and see what FSR can do. Alright, we are now on low, and even on low this game looks pretty nice. Obviously nowhere near as impressive as it did maxed out, but we're getting 70 FPS. Game still looks good, so this is like a performance mode almost.
His soul still lives. She needs to save his soul. She wants her soul to be at the She needs to lay him to rest. He's already dead. She can save him. There's nothing she can do. She thinks she's going to save him. She's not going to save him. She'll never make it to hell.
Man, we sure do have an audience that likes to talk a bunch of shit, don't we? All these like spirits or whatever they are just constantly just bad-mouthing this chick.
I forget its name. She forgets too.
What's this?
When she
Looks
does
like a top of a ship.
the dead may cross it. That part wasn't so easy to forget. The old fool said there was a hidden path up to it. Let's see, shall we?
And that is such a cool looking structure. Well, it looks like we reached some weird bridge thing. Alright, though. Let's completely max this thing out with some FSR now. Alright. We've got the game completely maxed out now. very high settings on everything, VSync off, ray tracing on high, but now we're doing FSR. So we'll just do like a minute of gameplay each here. We'll go ultra, we'll do all the FSR settings real quick. And now let's go see how it does in the actual game. Wow, nice. So we got ray tracing on and everything, and we're getting like 50 FPS. Not bad considering this is ultra quality. Oh, no, there we go. Now we're dropping down to the 30s, but still, the game's maxed out. So FSR is definitely doing its thing. I think we'll just stay out here, because it looks like if I go over there, it's like all indoors and stuff. So we'll stay out here on the outside. Just kind of walk around, get ourselves a little footage. We can go walk under the bridge and be a troll. Yeah, I'm impressed. This is a great looking game, and you can get some good looking, there's some good FPS too. Alright though, time to move on to the next FSR setting. I'm not going to bother showing you the settings every time. All I'm going to be doing is changing the FSR quality, and that's it. So, now let's go see how it does on just quality. So, now we're on FSR Quality. And so far, it seems like it's gotten a few more FPS. We're a little closer to 60 here. Average. But we still drop down to 50 every now and again if we like look out over into that direction. Now obviously doing stuff like this completely uncapped frames is going to do no good for battery, but I'm just showing you guys what it can do, not how you should use it. And this thing is a little powerhouse. I love my Steam Deck. I get lots of gaming in on this thing. Especially a lot of Elden Ring. Beat my first little Elden Ring boss last night too. Can't remember his name, but he was some like bear in a cave. Kinda was just exploring, all of a sudden couldn't move. And there, big bear tapped me, so I kicked his ass. Anyway, let's move on. Well, now we got ourselves some balanced FSR, and we're still dropping down to like 53, 54 looking over at those woods. But when we're not looking at the woods, we're pretty much above 60 here so far. So yeah, there's something about the woods this thing does not like. At least maxed out. Little stutter there. And you can definitely tell there's like some stuff going on in the background. It looks a little soft on the image now. But still looks pretty nice. I guess it's harder to see imperfections on a small screen. That's why it's nice to do this kind of stuff. On my 4K screen, I use stuff like that, and I can notice problems with the graphics and whatnot really easily because it's 4K. 4K just makes everything really easy to see all the minor imperfections on, that's for sure. Alright though, let's move on to last FSR setting. Now we've got FSR Performance. And you can definitely tell it looks pretty trash now. I wonder what this is running at. This is probably like 240p upscaled or something like that. Who knows, that's probably a little too low, but still down to like 54 when we look over towards these. No, 52. Same 52. I wonder what it is in the woods that makes it not able to get over 52 no matter what. And you know what we should try real quick? We should also try turning the FSR on that's just built in the Steam Deck too for games. I keep forgetting to do that. Just to kind of compare it to this game, because this game actually has like FSR built in. So I'm kind of curious what kind of frames I'll get with the Steam Deck's version. Because that one can be used in any game, as far as I'm concerned. Or not concerned, but to my knowledge, that's how it works. So yeah, I'm going to go turn FSR off, and go turn FSR in the game, and turn it on in the like software of Steam Deck, and see how it does. Alright, last up here, I just have FSR on the Steam Deck itself. Not in the game. I turned it off in the game. But the game is still maxed out, maxed ray tracing, maxed everything. So here's what it's like if you just use FSR on the Steam Deck itself. And I can't remember what it got maxed out. So. Still seems to be doing pretty freaking good though. We're getting almost 40 FPS completely maxed out. Wished we'd get 60, but that's a little too much to ask out of this little thing. It may be a powerhouse, but it's not a miracle worker.
She forgets too.
Oh yeah, we all forget.
But she does remember that only the dead may cross it. Her part wasn't so easy to forget. The old fool said there was a hidden path up to it. Let's see, shall we?
Well, alright. I think we've pretty much covered all of the graphics settings. So, now it's time to wrap this video up. Well, alright guys. That is a wrap for Hellblade, and it handled it pretty good. Couldn't quite do 60, but I never got this thing expecting it to be a 60 FPS powerhouse machine. I figured I'd be able to pretty much get decent settings at 30-ish FPS, sometimes 40 once they got that 40 thing out. Great game. Seems very confusing. Definitely going to have to give it a try later, but definitely not on the top of my games to play list, but doesn't mean it's a bad game. I'm definitely going to give it a try eventually, but anyway, that about covers this game. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until the next one, peace out, guys.